Flirting is something most people notice right away. It's often loud, bold, and filled with clever lines. But then there's the Sigma male, quiet, calm, and different. He doesn't flirt the way others do, and somehow it works better than most people expect. While alpha males may try to dominate the room or use charm to grab attention, Sigma males take another path. They don't fight for the spotlight. They don't try to impress with flashy words or dramatic actions. Their strength is in being quiet, confident, and deeply present. This video is all about that difference. It's about understanding why Sigma males stand out and why their flirting style actually works better in many situations. They don't follow dating rules made up by others. They don't chase. They don't pretend. They simply show up as they are. That calm, real energy, it speaks louder than a dozen pickup lines. It's not about playing games. It's about staying honest. And in a world full of noise, that honesty becomes attractive. When a Sigma male shows interest in someone, he does it in a way that feels grounded. It's not aggressive. It's not desperate. It's real. This doesn't mean he's shy. In fact, he may come off as bold, but not in the usual way. He may say less, but what he says matters. He may stand back, but people feel his presence. It's subtle power, and people notice. That's what makes Sigma males interesting in the dating world. They don't move fast. They don't move loud, but they move smart. And their quiet approach often ends up making a deeper impression. In this video, we'll look at 6 key reasons why Sigma males flirt differently and why it actually works. These signs show how their behavior sets them apart from the typical ways men try to connect with others. And they reveal something deeper, that connection doesn't need to be loud to be real. If you've ever seen someone stay calm in a loud room, speak carefully in a loud world, or walk away instead of fighting for attention, you've probably seen a Sigma male in action. So let's break down exactly how this kind of man flirts differently, and why, in many cases, it works better than anything else. Sign number 1, subtle confidence. Confidence is something many people talk about, but Sigma males show it differently. They don't need to talk big, dress loud, or show off. Their confidence is quiet, and that's what makes it powerful. A Sigma male doesn't enter a room trying to be seen. He just walks in. He doesn't try to impress everyone. He just does his thing. And that calm, steady energy draws attention without effort. This is what sets him apart when he flirts. While other men might go up to someone with a big smile and a loud introduction, the Sigma male may stay quiet, make eye contact, and let his energy speak for him. That silence, it builds curiosity. People start to wonder, who is he? That mystery becomes part of the attraction. His body language also shows his confidence. He stands tall, moves slowly, and stays relaxed. He doesn't fidget. He doesn't force a smile. He looks comfortable in his own skin. That sends a strong message. I'm not here to prove anything. And the truth is, he isn't. He's not trying to win approval. He's not trying to get anyone. He's just being himself. That kind of calm confidence is rare, and it feels refreshing. When he does speak, he speaks with intention. He doesn't talk just to fill space. He doesn't try to say something clever to get a laugh. He says what he means and then stops. That leaves room for the other person to respond. It feels like a real conversation, not a performance. This also changes how the interaction feels. It doesn't feel like a chase. It feels like a meeting between equals. That balance creates comfort and interest. Sigma males also know when not to speak. They're not afraid of silence. In fact, they often use it. They let moments breathe. They don't rush in to say something just to keep things going. That pause, it adds weight to what they say next, and it also gives the other person space to talk more. That space often leads to deeper conversation without even trying. Another part of their subtle confidence is how they handle rejection. If someone isn't interested, they don't argue or beg. They respect it. They move on without drama. That calm response shows maturity and builds respect. This confidence comes from knowing themselves, from not needing to be someone else, from feeling good whether they're liked or not. And that's what makes it so attractive. People are drawn to those who don't chase attention, because it shows strength, it shows peace. It shows that this person is not trying to take something, they're offering something real. That's the Sigma way. No show, no rush. Just quiet, calm confidence that does more than words ever could. Sign number 2, deep listening. Most people talk to be heard, but Sigma males, they listen. And not just with their ears. They listen with their full attention. When a Sigma male flirts, he doesn't dominate the conversation. He doesn't try to steer it toward himself. He asks a question and then actually listens to the answer. That simple act stands out more than most people realize. In a world full of people waiting for their turn to talk, someone who listens fully feels rare. And that rarity makes it powerful. Sigma males aren't fake listeners. They don't nod while planning what to say next. They hear the words. They hear the tone. They notice the little things, the pause, the body language, the shift in energy. All of that tells them more than words ever could. This level of listening makes people feel seen, really seen. It shows care. It shows presence. And that presence builds trust fast. When people feel heard, they open up. They relax. They connect. That's why Sigma flirting works so well. It doesn't feel like a game. It feels like someone is actually paying attention, and that's rare. This also means that Sigma males ask better questions. Not shallow ones like, "What do you do?" or "Where are you from?" but real ones like, "What made you choose that path?" or "What's something most people don't know about you?" These kinds of questions invite real conversation. And real conversation builds real attraction. Sigma males also don't rush to respond. They take a second. They think. They answer with care. That pause shows respect. It also gives the other person room to keep talking. And when they do respond, it's not always about them. They don't always shift the focus back to their story. Sometimes they just say, "That makes sense," or "Thanks for sharing that." Those small replies go a long way. Deep listening also shows emotional intelligence. It shows that the Sigma male is present, not distracted by his phone, not scanning the room, not looking for the next big thing. He's focused here now. That focus creates a calm, safe space. A space where people can be themselves. And that comfort turns into connection. It's not about being perfect. It's about being real. And listening deeply is one of the realest things a person can do. When someone leaves a conversation with a Sigma male, they often say, "He really listened." That simple comment, it says everything. Because in the end, flirting isn't about flashy moves. It's about connection. And deep listening builds that faster than anything else. Sign number 3, authenticity over performance. One of the clearest signs of a Sigma male's flirting style is that he stays real. He doesn't act. He doesn't perform. He doesn't use a fake voice or fake story to sound more interesting. He shows up as himself and lets that be enough. This is different from how many men flirt. Some guys try too hard to impress. They change who they are, hoping to match what they think the other person wants. They hide their flaws, tell exaggerated stories, or copy lines they read online. But Sigma males don't do that. They say what they mean, and they mean what they say. That honesty feels refreshing. In a world where a lot of people pretend, being real stands out. And when someone senses that you're not trying to trick them or sell them an image, they relax. They feel safe. They feel like they're talking to someone honest, and that honesty builds trust fast. A Sigma male doesn't need to talk about his success. He doesn't drop names or brag about his past. If the topic comes up, he'll speak about it simply. If not, he lets his actions and presence speak for themselves. That quiet truth is more powerful than loud confidence. It feels grounded. It feels strong. It feels like someone who knows himself and doesn't feel the need to perform. And that's key. He knows himself. Sigma males have spent time alone. They've faced their thoughts. They've figured out who they are and what they want. So when they talk to someone, they're not guessing who they should be. They're just being it. That self-acceptance is attractive. People can feel it. They can tell when someone isn't trying to fake it. That comfort in one's own skin draws others in. Even the way Sigma males compliment is different. They don't hand out flattery just to get attention. If they say something nice, it's because they mean it. That makes each word feel more real, more rare. They also don't change how they act around different people. Whether it's someone they're interested in or someone they're just meeting, they stay the same. That consistency shows strength. It says, "This is who I am, take it or leave it." And here's the thing. It works. It works because it's different. When most people are trying to be liked, the Sigma male is just being himself. That contrast makes people notice him. It also makes people feel like they can be real too. And that's the best kind of flirting. Not trying to win someone over with tricks, but creating a space where two people can be honest, open, and real. So while others are putting on a show, the Sigma male is doing something better. He's showing up exactly as he is. And in today's world, that's rare and powerful. Sign number 4. Respect for boundaries. Another reason Sigma males stand out when they flirt is how they respect boundaries. They don't push. They don't pressure. They don't try to move faster than the other person is ready for. Instead, they pay attention and let things happen naturally. This respect comes from awareness. Sigma males are observant. They notice how someone reacts. They watch body language, tone, and energy. If someone leans back or looks uncomfortable, they stop. They don't try to force anything. That awareness shows maturity. It shows that the Sigma male understands that interest has to go both ways. He's not just thinking about what he wants. He's making sure the other person is comfortable too. This is very different from how many men flirt. Some push too hard. They think pressure shows confidence. They talk over people, touch without asking, or try to move fast to avoid rejection. But all that pressure does is make the other person feel stressed. Sigma males don't do that. If someone needs space, they give it. If someone says no, they don't argue. They step back with respect. And that response often makes people feel more safe and more open. Respecting boundaries also means asking when needed. A Sigma male might say, "Is this okay?" or "Let me know if this is too much." That kind of question shows care. It tells the other person, "I'm not here to take, I'm here to connect." This attitude builds trust, and trust is the foundation for real attraction. It also shows emotional strength. Sigma males don't get angry when someone pulls away. They don't guilt others into saying yes. They handle rejection without losing control. That calm response says a lot. It says they're in control of themselves. It says they don't take things personally. It says they respect the other person's choices, no matter what. This makes their presence feel safer. And when people feel safe, they're more likely to open up, talk more, and connect deeper. Respect also shows in small ways, like not texting too much, not pushing for attention, not demanding time. The Sigma male gives space because he values space. He knows how important it is to move at the right pace. That mindset also keeps him from getting caught in games. He doesn't chase after people who aren't interested. He doesn't try to convince someone who's unsure. He believes that real connection flows easily, and if it doesn't, he's fine walking away. That quiet confidence mixed with respect is powerful. It makes the Sigma male different. He's not here to take control. He's here to connect with someone who truly wants to be there. And that simple respect for boundaries. It makes people feel safe and seen. Sign number 5, meaningful engagement. Sigma males flirt by making people think, by making them feel heard, by creating deeper conversations, not just light banter. They're not interested in fast talk or one-liners. They'd rather ask a question that makes someone pause, smile, and really think. That kind of conversation stands out. It sticks. This is what makes their flirting so powerful. It doesn't feel like flirting at first. It feels like something real, something important. Sigma males want to know who you are, not just what you look like. They ask about goals, beliefs, challenges, and values. They want to understand what makes a person move, not just what they do for fun. This kind of talk goes deeper. It creates connection fast. Because most people are not used to being seen this clearly. They're not used to someone caring this much, this soon. And it's not about being serious all the time. Sigma males can laugh, joke, and enjoy the moment. But even in that, they're present. They're not trying to control the mood. They're trying to share it. Their attention is full. No checking their phone. No scanning the room. Just real focus. And that focus says, you matter. This is what makes people feel different around them. They feel noticed, not judged. They feel safe, not watched. They feel invited into something deeper, not just entertained. The Sigma male also shares honestly. He doesn't hide his thoughts or play it cool just to be liked. If he finds something interesting, he says so. If he disagrees, he explains it calmly. That honesty keeps the energy clear. This way of connecting may not lead to fast results, but it often leads to better ones. Because when people feel that depth, they remember it. They think about it later. They want to come back to it. Sigma males don't mind if that takes time. They're patient. They're real. And they know that deep connection can't be rushed. This also filters out people who aren't ready for that kind of depth. And that's fine. Sigma males would rather have one strong connection than 10 shallow ones. Their goal isn't to impress. It's to connect, to understand, to share something meaningful, even in a short moment. This approach works better than most people think. It doesn't always look exciting, but it feels different. And in the end, that feeling is what matters most. That's the Sigma way, flirting not with tricks, but with truth. Sign number 6. Independence and self-sufficiency. One of the strongest signs that someone is a Sigma male is how independent they are. And that same independence is exactly why their way of flirting works so well. They don't need anyone, they choose people. Most men are either trying to get noticed, win attention, or prove they're worthy of love. But Sigma males don't operate that way. They don't flirt to feel better about themselves. They already feel solid. They already know their value. That self-sufficiency makes a huge difference. When they approach someone, it's not because they're lonely or looking for validation. It's because they're genuinely curious. They already enjoy their own company. So when they connect with someone, it's not out of need, it's out of choice. That creates a different kind of energy. It's not needy. It's not pushy. It's calm and clear. They're not trying to take anything. They're offering something, and that feels safe. Because they're independent, they're also okay with space. They don't need constant attention. They don't need fast replies. They're fine if things take time. That patience is powerful. It shows maturity. It shows peace. In conversation, this independence shows up too. They don't change themselves to get someone's interest. They stay true to their thoughts, their style, and their pace. If it clicks, great. If not, they move on with no hard feelings. They're also comfortable walking away. If something doesn't feel right, they don't force it. They don't try to fix it or beg for a second chance. They let it go because they know they're okay either way. That confidence makes them attractive. People feel drawn to someone who doesn't need to be chosen to feel complete. That energy says, I'm good on my own, but I'd enjoy building something with the right person. It's not about being cold or closed off. Sigma males can be warm and caring, but they don't depend on others to feel whole. They've built that for themselves, piece by piece. This kind of emotional self-sufficiency is rare. And when people feel it, they trust it. They know this person isn't playing games. They're not looking for someone to fill a gap. They're looking for someone to grow with. It also means the Sigma male doesn't chase after every opportunity. He picks carefully. He chooses who he spends time with. That choice makes people feel respected, and it makes the interaction feel special. Because when someone who doesn't need anyone chooses you, it means something. That's the power of Sigma male flirting. It comes from a place of strength, a place of peace, a place where nothing is forced and everything is real. By now the pattern is clear. Sigma males don't flirt like everyone else. They're not loud. They're not flashy. They don't push, fake, or chase. They move different, and that difference is exactly what makes their approach work so well. They show quiet confidence. They listen deeply. They stay real, not fake. They respect space and boundaries. They create deep conversation, not just small talk. And they don't need anyone to feel complete. They want connection, not approval. Each of these traits on its own is powerful, but when you put them together, you get something even stronger, A man who flirts with intention, not games. Someone who makes people feel calm, not pressured. Someone who can stand alone but chooses to connect anyway. That kind of energy feels rare. It feels safe. And it feels real. People sense that Sigma males are not playing a role. They're not trying to be liked. They're just being honest. And that honesty, that quiet truth, it cuts through all the noise. In a world where so many people are performing, pretending, or chasing something, the Sigma male stands out by doing none of that. He moves slower but with more impact. He speaks less but with more weight. He connects not with lines but with presence. It might not get noticed right away. It might not be the flashiest approach, but it works. And not just for one night, it works for real, lasting connection. Because when someone flirts with confidence, care, and truth, they don't just catch your eye. They earn your trust. And that's what Sigma males do best.